Churches are supposed to be places of faith, hope, and community. They provide food for the hungry, shelter for those in need, and places for children to learn and grow. But what happens when that trust is broken? When the very place meant to protect and uplift people becomes a tool for abuse and control. That's exactly what happened in this shocking case. A pastor who was supposed to lead with compassion instead uses his authority to imprison children, beat them for days, multiple days. This wasn't just a lapse in judgment. It was a complete betrayal of faith and responsibility. Right now we're going to look at some very disturbing footage. We're going to be reacting to it and then asking some tough questions. Who is accountable and how did this happen? Welcome back to my channel, everyone. I have been gone a year. I got a new place, new setup, and I'm really impressed if you stayed subscribed to me with not one single new video in a year. That'll all change now. Thank you. Let's get into this pretty heavy content. Pretty heavy content. Pastor brutally beats kids and locked them up for days. I picked this one because it's ironic, right? We trust certain people to be better than us. We trust people to be better than us, and they disappoint us far beyond anything we could have possibly imagined. It's ironic in a way. It's malevolent. I don't have enough adjectives. There's a lot of adjectives to add to this, but someone so trusted do something so foul. And I wanted to know what that looked like, and I wanted to know how that responded when it got caught. So without further ado, I haven't seen this video and love Law and Crime. Thank you, Law and Crime, for posting your videos and giving me something to react to. If you want to watch the video without me talking over it, check out their stuff.
Her arms and a black eye.
No idea.
I'm sorry I'm pausing so soon. I'm not one for body language interpreters, but that man's face definitely said, I did it, and I'm not letting you know that I did it, because he had the biggest smile right in here. That was fucked up.
But as soon as investigators leave the room, he changes this too. Today's topic is pretty heartbreaking. We're talking about
not the wife.
Some child abuse, where a pastor allegedly locked his kids in the bathroom for days without food and beat them with a belt and a slab of wood. Today's story takes us back to the start of last year in Blackwell, Oklahoma, which is a pretty small city and it's near the Kansas border. That's where Pastor Keith Holt lived with his wife, Candy Holt, and their 8 children. It's a pretty big family, but it's a blended one. Some of the kids were Keith's biological kids and others were Candy's nieces. 3 of their other kids had been placed in their custody after both of their biological parents died within a few months of each other.
I feel so sorry for Candy. You know why? That looks like a woman who took care of these 8 kids, had little regard from her husband, and he probably beat her too. If he abused and beat children, you can best believe he was abusing and beating his wife. You can best believe that. She looks like she's seen some demons. For sure. I feel sorry for Candy.
So the Holts became their guardians. In mid-January of last year, 5 of the children came forward to police describing some pretty intense abuse. All of their stories matched up. And what's more than all this, the kids had bruises on their bodies. Doctors later determined
the kids went to the authorities. That means there wasn't a single other adult who noticed. Not one other community member who saw these kids, saw injuries on them, overlooked it. It was the other kids in the household. Those are brave kids. That's incredible.
That these bruises were in fact a result of child abuse. Both Keith and Candy were arrested in their home on January 16th. Here's what all that looked like.
Right now, you both are going to be under arrest for child abuse and you go with these 2 gentlemen. All 8 children are now in protective custody.
She got that shocked look on her face of like, oh my God, it's happening. Oh my God. he's finally getting in trouble. Am I getting in trouble too? It doesn't matter. He's finally getting, like, that's what I'm reading off of her. I could be completely wrong, but he has the, oh shit, fuck, I've been caught face, but she has the, oh my God, is this real? Hand clutching pearls, is this real?
We will have a conversation when I get to the police department.
Okay.
Okay, I know you're gonna be nice, so I'm gonna put it in front for you, okay?
Oh, she looks happy.
These kids are kind of. Before you put the other one on.
Where you need?
I'm just getting my shoes set it up front.
I can.
Oh, you could probably.
Yeah, I'll just put them up front so it's more comfortable for you, okay?
This is what I do. I take care of kids. It's all my education. That's everything I've ever done. And this is absurd.
Now, I will say, she might be an accomplice. When we're in an abusive relationship so long, sometimes we blur the lines between right and wrong because we've had so much wrong done to us. It's like, well, get with the program. So I want to think the best of Miss Candy over here, but at the same time, I do have to go from my own experiences and abusive relationships that we do things that are wrong in those moments, even though we're being abused too. And then I'm assuming that she's doing the abuse. What if she was the one who started it? I don't know. We are here to find that out.
Just one day after their arrests, both Candy and Keith Holt talked to investigators. They first began by questioning Candy.
Today, in this room, we're going to talk about some things, and how you answer those questions could impact the rest of your life. You understand that?
Yes.
These are serious allegations.
Okay.
So I need you to be honest with me.
Yeah.
She tells investigators Keith does hit the kids, but rarely. She says it's only a pat on the butt, and it doesn't leave behind any bruising.
Me personally, now they're older, I don't strip them down and look at them. But I've never seen them out of control. But when
I want to know, at this point, if you think she did it. Put like a minute marker down. I want to know if in this moment that you think that she helped or if she was a victim too. I'm just curious. I just want to see if I'm the only one who thought she was a victim too at first. Upon further digging and thinking about it, I'm like, she's a little too close to home to only be a victim. I get that. But let's see how far the rabbit hole goes with Miss Candy here.
when he goes to spank the children, they're in a private room.
Mm-hmm.
Like the dining room, we make sure there's no kids around or anything like that.
Why would all 5 of the older kids all have the exact same story?
Oh, she's lying. She's lying to protect her husband. Why, Candy, are you lying to protect her husband? See, now that gets rid of the whole theory I had in the beginning of like, oh, she's happy. No. If I was the abused wife, watching the abused kids, feeling powerless to do anything about it, and I finally had a chance to tell authorities what was going on, I would spill. I would spill all those beans so fucking quick. So quick. So now, I take back every nice thing I said about Candy. She's lying to protect her husband beating those kids. And I'm sure she's probably taking part in beating those kids herself. Dang. Dang, Candy.
As far as
Just being hit with a 2x2 that they showed me was behind your TV. All 5 of them.
No.
They're all telling the exact same story, separate of being hit with that piece of
I have never
wood.
seen him hit them with that piece of wood. I'm be honest with you. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying I have not seen him hit them. The only thing I've seen him hit them with is the belt.
Pretty soon into this interview, investigators bring up some pretty serious allegations.
What about Beth getting locked in the bathroom for 3 days?
No, never happened.
So they're all the kids are lying.
I don't know what's going on.
Just going with the plausible deniability route. I never saw it. How could I report anything I never saw? Do you pay attention to your kids? Do you check on them? Do you ask them how their day's going? Do you believe your kids when they tell you something wrong is happening? Just because you didn't see the physical action doesn't mean you can't dig and ask questions and notice when behaviors have changed, notice when the kids aren't feeling well. I bet she was the one who wasn't feeding them.
But that they never been locked in a bathroom for 3 days. None of them. That doesn't even make any sense to me personally.
It's just hard to believe that all 5 of them would have the exact same story
Well, that's
over multiple incidents.
I don't know if you've ever done this as a kid, lying, as a teenager, lying, as an adult, lying. But when somebody catches you in a lie...
Brick, did you break the lamp?
No.
And they don't let you out of it. They keep on asking you pointed questions, but you don't want to incriminate yourself. You start doing that thing where you chew on your teeth, chew on your tongue. How can I word this where I'm not quite lying, but I'm not quite telling the truth either? That's what Miss Candy's doing right now. No, that don't even make sense to me. That don't even make sense to me, she says.
I've seen Keith spank the kids. Oh, yes. On the butt. One at a time because we don't discipline in front of each other. And that's it. I've never seen him hit him with a piece of wood. I've never seen him other than the belt. I'm dead honest. And that is so rare.
At one point, investigators leave the room. Candy's on her own, and she starts praying out loud.
Oh, dear Jesus. Protect those kids. Please protect them.
Oh, he's protecting them. He's listening to that prayer, that's for sure. He's going to protect those kids. He's doing it right now. Why do you think you're in this room?
Protect them no matter what, God. No matter what.
But when investigators come back in, they press Candy even more.
I don't think you're being 100% honest with me.
That's another thing. It's like, why do we feel the need to lie for our spouses? Like, when they're doing things that are harming other people. I don't think marriage is meant to protect your spouse in that way. I don't think the fundamentals of honor this person, honor my wife, beat these kids, hide it from the cops. You know, and this is all without the fact that he's a pastor on top of it, a trusted official of the community to bring about positivity, prayer, solace, guidance. And you're the pastor's wife. You're the pastor's wife. That's like the first lady.
I don't know what to say.
I think there's a lot of stuff that's going on in that house that maybe you turn a blind eye to, is what I think. I think there's stuff that has happened that you may not have necessarily witnessed, but you know.
The truth will set you free. What do you say? The truth.
Because here's the thing, when we take those kids to the child abuse specialist, when all this goes to court and they're going to testify that these bruises are consistent with child abuse, I think there's stuff going on in that house that you know about. But he's the sole provider for the house. You're not going to rock the boat either. But now's the time to tell us.
Investigators didn't get that much from Candy in their interview. And at the start of their interview with Pastor Keith, they don't get much there either.
Your relationship with the 8 kids, you get along with them? Is it pretty good? Would you consider it a good relationship with all of them?
Yeah. Me and the boys go fishing when we get a chance, and me and John killed a deer here 5-6 years back. The 3 little ones, I mean, they're just, CJ's he's a little autistic. He can't hardly talk. He's rambunctious, gets into everything. He's a jack of all trades. If he can't get into this, he's turning the water on, or, he's doing something, he's active.
Are they pretty trustworthy kids?
I would say so. Junior and Timmy, they both work at Brown.
I can't help but notice that he didn't answer the question, right? They asked him what his relationship with the kids is, and instead he starts talking about, oh, well, we go camping, and, this one's rambunctious because he has autism. He's nonverbal. Maybe you need to spend a little bit more time teaching him different methods of verbal communication, nonverbal communication, maybe learn some sign language. Maybe he'll start behaving a little bit better because he's not going to be so rambunctious, as you say, because he'll be able to actually communicate. It's telling. Normally when I'm asked, like, what's your relationship with somebody, I'm going to say, I think we have a good relationship. There are times when it's bad because we disagree. There's times when, you know, you give examples of what's wrong and what's right in the relationship. But instead, we got more of the characteristics of the children and the activities that they have done together in the past. Not quite how do you get along with the kids, in my opinion. That's just me.
Timmy and my daughter Elizabeth, they're both not homeschooled, but virtual. They do virtual school. Junior has already graduated. That's Thomas. He's already graduated.
So Keith says he trusts the kids and that they wouldn't lie, but he does admit to spanking them. He says it hardly happens though.
When was the last time you think you had to spank one of the kids?
Oh, it's been months, maybe even over a year that I had to spank one.
So you haven't spanked the kids at all at this house?
At this house?
I remember every single time I've gotten mad and I've hit somebody. It hasn't been that many times in my life. I'd like to think that when raising a child, there would never be a time that I would hit them. But if I did, I would remember why. I would feel terrible. But, I mean, that's the difference between me and this pastor, isn't it? And then at the same time, he knows. He knows when the last time he hit those kids is. He's being intentionally deceitful. What about this house? You hit him in this house? And he goes, yes. The answer is yes. He most assuredly has hit those kids in the house that they're in now. Sick bastard.
I can't recollect that I have.
The questions get more serious from here, and Keith has kind of a weird reaction to this next part. Take a listen. You can actually hear him laugh, and then you can see him covering up his mouth.
So if someone said that you beat the kids with a 2x2 board, would that... Why would someone say that?
Why would anybody say that?
Especially...
to a kid.
Well, it's coming from the kids. They're the ones that are saying that. All 5 of the older kids.
Said that I beat them with a 2x2 board.
And they provided me the board that was behind the TV.
That I beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a 2x4 behind my TV. When was this? Yeah, 2024. This was in 2024. He thinks it's funny. Like, Freudian slip much? Like, brother in literal Christ. He thinks this is one big fucking joke. He does not care. He does not feel bad. No remorse on his face. He doesn't want to come clean. He doesn't want to give the kids any validation that they have been abused. He thinks that it's justified. He thinks he has some justification for beating children. It's sick.
I don't.
Have you hit them with that board?
I've never beat them with
Have you hit them with that board?
I did John.
So when
I
you
did
said
John.
when you said that you hadn't spanked anybody in over a year, that was not a truthful statement.
To my right, I wasn't.
See that long pause? If you didn't beat those kids with that board, you would be like, no, I did not. You would be offended by the question. He's sitting there. Well, I don't recall. What?
Here's the thing, partner. We're gonna tell it to you very, very simple, okay? We know a little bit more than what you think we do. We're just asking for your cooperation. Be honest with us. I mean, he's asking you all these questions because we kind of already know the answer to a lot of them. We're just trying to get you to be as honest as you can to help yourself out. Okay? So when you said that you haven't spanked anybody in a year, that was not a correct statement, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay.
That took a way different turn than I was expecting. So instead of him saying, oh, he's like, I might have shoved him with it, basically. Did you put your hands or this 2x4 on these kids in this house? You didn't ask me that. You asked me, did I spank them? And no, I did not spank them. Wow. Do you see the you have to be so you have to be so unbelievably specific with these people who are adamant on hiding their bad behavior. You have to back them into a literal corner to get them to admit the evil things that they have done. And then you get half-truths.
Thinking back, yeah, I had to spank John and I had to spank Beth.
You see how he worded that too? I had to spank them. Meaning this man has no other methods in his arsenal for dealing with children who get a little rambunctious. He probably has just a couple of warning words of stop, don't, and then goes straight to spankings. Because he had to. And this man is a pastor, a man of God. This is why I don't like organized religion, because we have flawed human beings in the system who hold these self-righteous positions where people don't question that their morals may be corrupt. We're human, we are flawed. I'm not saying every pastor is the devil. I'm just saying no one is ever completely altruistically good. There is no such thing as 100% good.
Do you remember an incident where Tabitha was accused of stealing Candy's makeup? It was on a church Sunday before y'all were going to church on a Sunday morning. In the last probably month or so.
Yeah,
Did Tabitha get spanked for that?
I believe she did.
What would she have got spanked with? Would that been with the 2x2 or with the belt or?
I'm not for sure.
Okay. If the kids told me that she got hit upwards of 40 times because she wouldn't admit to stealing it, would that be them lying?
That would be them lying, because I've never hit more than 3 to 4. 4 at the most. 3 was usually what it was.
Why do you think the kids would come together and come up with this if this isn't kind of a true thing? What would be their motive, do you think, that all 5 of the older kids would come together?
I would never hit him 3 to 4 times. Have you seen this man's hands? Have you seen how big this man's hands are? To a child? And he's got little ones? And he's hitting them 3 to 4 times with those monster fucking meat palms. Fucking John Benchian hands. Like, are you kidding me?
Was there ever an incident that where someone at the church, one of the kids was accused of telling someone at church about some stuff that went on at the house, and they got punished for that? Is that ringing bells?
I don't remember.
Beth getting locked in a bathroom for 3 days, no food and water?
No.
Why would Beth say that?
We never did lock her in the bathroom.
Was she in the bathroom?
We've never locked the kids in the bathroom.
And other kids saying they had to sneak her food? I just don't understand why 5 kids that you and Candy have both said that are trustworthy kids, why they would come together and all concoct this wild story of all these separate incidences if it's not true. I don't have an explanation why they do that. Do you have one?
No.
But they're pretty trustworthy, right?
I mean,
they've been known to lie.
They've been known to lie. That's like any kid. This man does not think kids are people. I'm gonna say it again. This man does not think children are people. Kids grow up and they turn into adults that remember the things that you have done. The internet is forever. Kids' memories turn into adult memories. We remember things. And I like how he started with, oh yeah, these are trustworthy kids. And then as soon as it's something nefarious about you, they've been known to lie.
I didn't lie to you on purpose.
Well,
It's just I didn't recollect. And then
Purpose or not.
when you reminded me of it, then yeah.
You know, because
Okay.
you told us, you know, initially that you hadn't spanked anybody at the house in Blackwell, or you hadn't spanked anybody with the belt at the house in Blackwell. But we've got incidents where there was one girl that got beat up to 4 times in a day. I spanked this kid, I spanked that kid, I did this kid, I spanked this kid with the board, this kid got the belt. Is it possible that there's so much of that going on that you can't track it all? Is that possible?
It's possible.
Why does Tabitha have bruises up and down her legs and her arms and a black eye?
The child has a black eye and you don't remember? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. It brings me back to, why were no other adults in the community aware of this? Why did nobody else see it? Maybe that's why he locks them in the bathroom, so that their bruising goes down, so he can hide it a little bit better. But kids will change behavior. They go from bright and sunny to dim, quiet, moody. They start acting out. No one noticed that change in their behavior?
No idea. Haven't touched her. Do know she fell down the stairs.
Another lie.
And
When was that?
that's been a couple months back.
These are fresh bruises.
That I have no idea.
They're still visible bruises, and the bruises are at different stages of healing. So they're from multiple incidents. She's went to a child abuse expert, and they are consistent with child abuse.
I haven't touched her. I haven't put no bruises on her like that.
You've never spanked her?
I spanked her on the butt, and we already told her
Right,
that.
okay, so
But
let me ask, hold on. You spank her on the butt. How do you know you're not leaving bruises? Do you check?
no,
No.
not
So
to
it's
do that.
possible that you're leaving bruises on her when you're spanking her, correct?
He has more of a believable response when they ask if he checks her behind area. No, I don't do that. Than he does when it came to the plywood. Like, ugh.
On her butt, maybe. But I'm not leaving bruises nowhere else.
When investigators leave the room, Keith starts talking to himself, and it's honestly kind of shocking. He's whispering, but in this next clip, he says, quote, "Wife turned against me."
Wife turned against me.
A few seconds later, he speaks to himself once again.
You're the one that caused it.
Keith Holt now faces 3 counts of child abuse and another count of child neglect. He's set to go to jury trial on February 25th. Reporting for Law and Crime, I'm Sierra Gillespie.
My wife turned against me. Spouse testifies against pastor's husband accused of abusing 8 children. Yeah, so Candy is going to be testifying against him for the plea deal. I don't blame her. Because, I mean, child abuse and kidnapping and child neglect, those are some serious charges, man. The kids were taken into protective custody. So that's good that they got away from them. Oh, and his trial's coming up February 25th, 2025. 3 counts of child abuse and 1 count of child neglect in Kay County, Oklahoma. She said no contest. Candy was like, no contest. I'll plead against it. I'll testify truthfully, I promise. On December 13th, she was sentenced to 10 years with 9 of those supposed suspend. Okay, so she did 1 year. Because she did 10 years with 9 of those years suspended by the judge. So that's probably because she testified against her husband. But he's gonna, maybe we'll circle back to this and see what happens with him, how long he's gonna spend. Hit the like, comment, and subscribe.